I think it's accurate to say no one has had a greater influence when it comes to entertaining the Piedmont Triad during the last 30 years than tonight's newsmaker. Whether you have attended a game at the Greensboro Coliseum, or a Broadway show at the Tanger Center, or a swim meet at the Greensboro Aquatic Center, Matt Brown has had a hand in it. A few months ago, he retired, and tonight, in what he's calling his only media interview post-retirement, he and I take a look back.
So I was always cognizant of Greensboro and the Greensboro Coliseum's great reputation in the 70s. So I thought it would be great to be a part of that history.
And for former Greensboro Coliseum Managing Director Matt Brown, that history started in the fall of 1994 when he arrived here after living in New Jersey and working for a private facility management company. Today, several months after retiring, he can walk down an aisle, sit in one of the building's 23,000+ seats. How about right here? And relax, probably for the first time. So, how much are you going to miss coming in here?
I always enjoy events. I love coming to events. I love the planning and seeing the event and the success, and you see the appreciation of people. Usually when an artist will say, oh, Greensboro, and the crowd goes crazy, that really makes you feel good.
What is the most memorable event you have witnessed here?
I'd have to say maybe McCartney.
Paul McCartney.
Having him come to the Greensboro Coliseum was quite a tribute to accomplish that with that name of an artist.
And then there are other artists he remembers for what happened before and after their performances.
I remember Justin Bieber coming out of his dressing room and he didn't want to go on stage because his white jeans weren't creased enough, so he wanted all his people to go in and iron his jeans.
And then there was the young Taylor Swift, who performed at the Coliseum as the opening act for George Strait, who instructed her to sit and sign autographs for everyone after the show.
And her line was all the way down the concourse. She sat with her parents when she was 16. She signed every autograph.
Sounds like you're a Swiftie.
Well, I just think she's a remarkable person and skilled, and what she brings and her following is it's just phenomenal.
Skilled is one way to describe Brown's contribution to the success of the building, the management of which the city's now turned over to a private company, the Oakview Group. Was this decision a good thing?
Absolutely.
What is the number one thing Oakview can do that you could not do?
One is naming rights, and they convinced First Horizon to put their name on the building, and I think that's a long overdue improvement that raises the profile of the Coliseum up nationally, regionally, and locally. I think it's a key component.
Adding components to the Coliseum complex has been a key part of Brown's tenure. They include the Novant Health Fieldhouse in 2003, the White Oak Amphitheater in 2011, and the Greensboro Aquatic Center in 2011, which the city expanded in 2019. The Aquatic Center is now the largest facility of its type in the country and consistently hosts national, regional, and statewide meets that fill local hotel rooms.
At the same time, it is one of the greatest accomplishments we've ever done is we've taught 15,000 second graders through the Guilford County school systems to learn the swim skills that they need to potentially save their lives.
And then there's the Stephen Tanger Center for the Performing Arts downtown. Brown oversaw its construction, as he was doing when he and I stood on what would be the stage area, and was managing it when we stood on the very same spot months later. Today, with its more than 3,000 seats, it's the largest performing arts center in North Carolina and has the largest number of season ticket holders for Broadway shows in America.
It's been nothing but uplifting in terms of fulfilling everything we had hoped it would be.
The Oakview Group now runs the daily operations of this facility as well. And with the Coliseum taking on a new name, it and its surrounding facilities no longer make up the Greensboro Coliseum Complex. The new name is just Greensboro Complex. What do you want people to remember about you?
I delivered what I said I would do. People said, can you bring shows here? I did that. And I improved the facilities, and I made the community, I think, proud of the complex and what we brought to the facility, and I always kept a clean facility.
As for what Brown's doing post-retirement, he says he plans to enjoy his grandchildren and work to get a bond package passed to support the Aquatic Center's Learn to Swim program for the next 20 years. He's also active with the Greensboro Sports Foundation, which works to promote Greensboro as a sports tourism destination. Now, to watch more of my interview with Matt Brown, in which he talks about, among other things, the very first performer he booked here, the different path he would take with spending the Coliseum's naming rights money, the ACC moving its headquarters to Charlotte, his biggest disappointment, and the next facility he'd like to see built in Greensboro. Check out the web extra, which accompanies this piece, which we are about to post on our website, myfox8.com.